Hello, 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 third graders. Go ahead and grab your math books to page 120, my bad, 147. 147. Now, this week, you are going to recite the 7 times tables to me. And I'm going to go over that at the end of this lesson, and we're going to review it at our Zoom meeting. But you're going to recite the 7 times tables to me. So take a look at page 147. We're going to learn about the mile. So, a mile, as you see here on page 147, is 5,280 feet. Imagine you have a ruler and you have 5,280 of those rulers. That's a lot of rulers. I don't know what to do with 5,280 rulers. Well, guess what? That many rulers makes 1 mile. And think of the yardstick that I have in my classroom or the yardstick you've used when you were with Mrs. Jones. Think of 1,760 of those yardsticks. That also makes a mile. It's a lot, right? The shortest air travel distance from New York to California is 2,000, right here, 2,451 miles. The total driving distance, so if you're going to fly, it's 2,451. But if you're going to drive from California, this is where we live, to New York, it's going to take 2,872 miles. How many days is that? I'm not sure. But let's fill in the blank, and we can use these words here to fill in the blank. We may be able to use them more than once. That's cool. Number 1 says, the fawn leaped 5. Now, a fawn is a deer. It's a female deer, I believe, or it's a baby deer. I'm not quite sure now. But the fawn leaped 5. Now, it can't leap 5 inches, all right? That's 5 inches is basically half of your desk. So no, not inches. Feet, you know what? It could leap 5 feet. 5 feet is almost my height. That's how high a fawn can jump. I don't think a fawn can leap 5 miles. 5 miles is from the school to probably where where I live in Carson. Probably more than that, but still, that a fawn cannot jump that many miles. Or yards. 5 yards? Well, maybe it could do yards. Yardsticks. Think of yardsticks, maybe, but remember it's like a baby deer. So I'm gonna say it can leap 5 feet. I'll say that. Caleb. Remember Caleb? Good old Caleb who tells us jokes at lunchtime? Yeah. Caleb rode 3 blank on his bike. Now, he can't ride 3 feet on his bike because 3 feet would mean 3 rulers. No. He can't ride 3 inches on his bike because really 3 inches is actually a little longer than this. That's 3 inches. On his bike? No. He can ride 3 miles on his bike. That's pretty good. He can't ride 3 yards because that would be 3 yardsticks. And no, that's not gonna happen. Abby's desk is 15 blank wide. So if it was 15 feet wide, that's 15 basketball hoops. No, your desk can't be that wide. Crazy. 15 inches? I think it could be 15 inches because your desk at school is around 15 inches. That makes more sense. 15 miles? Your desk is not 15 miles or 15 yards in yardsticks. So, yes, it's inches. That's more plausible, meaning more realistic. Mr. Reynolds, oh, this is true. This is Pastor Reynolds for sure, is 6 blank tall, right? So he is 6 feet. That makes sense. He can be 6 rulers tall. Inches, now 6 inches would be from here to here. No. Miles, he is super tall if he was 6 miles. Because like I said, like 6 miles would be from the school to my house. 6 yards, that's 6 yardsticks. That's too tall. So yes, it's feet. And remember that safety regulation now we have to follow all the time? 6 feet apart. Yeah, I always think of Pastor Reynolds when I hear that 6 feet apart. We have to stand at least as tall away from each other as tall as Miss Pastor Reynolds is. Number next, the slide on our playground is 2 feet high. I don't know about that. Can't be 2 feet. That's like two rulers. That's too small. 2 inches? Oh no, this is honestly 2 inches. My slide is not that small. 2 miles? Mm, that's long. 2 miles. No, because 2 miles would honestly probably be about from my house, no, from the school to Haley's house or Jeremiah's house. So it can't be miles, it's yards. So think about like a yardstick. And that's a nice size of a slide for someone who is like Russell's age. Now we would like longer slides because we're older and taller, but for someone who's young, like Russell, 2 yards is fine. Alrighty. Now let's mark the circle beside the measures that are wrong. Okay, so I'm going to put a sad face here because we're looking for the ones that are false. Okay, the false answers. I'll use red, like, danger, it's wrong. 1 yard equals 12 feet. No, it's not. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Didn't we learn that? Yeah, we did, so that's fine. And by the way, friends, I'm going down. So I'm going just from A, C, E, all the way to K. 1 day is 24 hours. That's true. 1 bushel equals 8 pecks. No, wait. Remember? I thought it was 4 pecks. 1 dozen eggs is 12 eggs. Yes, that's true. And 1 ton is 200 pounds. Actually, I think I said this last week. Think of an elephant. An elephant doesn't weigh 200 pounds. Now, a football player may weigh 200 pounds, but that doesn't equal a ton. A ton is 2,000 pounds. 2,000 pounds. So that's wrong. Now we'll go from B to L. 1 hour equals 60 days. Are you kidding me? No, that doesn't make sense. 1 year equals 356 days. It's 365. We learned this last week. 1 ounce equals 16 pounds. That's correct. And I believe I told you an example was of Pau Gasol, I think. 1 yard equals 36 inches. That's also correct. 1 quart equals 2 pints. Quart, 2 pints. Huh. I have to draw the kingdom of gallon now. No, it can't be. Oh yeah, 1 quart equals 2 pints. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so that's fine. 1 peck equals 6 quarts. I thought 1 peck equals 8 quarts. So I'm gonna circle that in. All right, how'd you do? Now, number 3 is seat work. So you'll do that later. Don't do it right now. You can do that after our video. Page 2. Solve these story problems. And we have the workspace here. Back in the past, in other books, the books would not provide workspaces for the third graders. We would have to use scratch paper. Megan's family traveled 230 miles on Monday, 140 miles on Tuesday, and 198 miles on Wednesday. I wonder where they're going. How many miles did they travel altogether? So on Monday, they traveled 230 miles. On Tuesday, they traveled 147 miles. And on Wednesday, they traveled 198 miles. So be sure to write that down. If you need to pause the video to make sure that it's all there, that's totally fine. Now, I'm going to determine what I have to do next. How many miles did they travel all together? So that means I need to add. So put my addition sign. If you want to add with me, that's cool. If you want to try it on your own, that's even cooler. So 0 plus 7 is 7. 7 plus 8. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, I already knew that, but I just wanted to count out loud. Excuse me. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 9. So I'm going to hold up my fingers. 10, 11, 12, 13. No, it's 8 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 575. There you go. So the family traveled 575 miles. Cool. Megan's family will travel a total of 1,000 miles on their trip. Oh, so they want to make sure they travel 1,000 miles. All right, I'm going to write that down. 1,000 miles. Okay, how many more miles will they travel? So they already traveled 575 miles. Okay, but we want to know how many miles they have left. So when I do something like that, when I want to find out how many more, what do you think I have to do? Hope you remember. We have to subtract. Okay, friends, we're going to subtract. So it's going to be, and I erased it because I wanted to rewrite it to give it more room. 1,000 subtract. And what are we subtracting? We are subtracting 575 miles because that's how many miles they traveled so far. 575. Do you want to try this on your own? Because you can. All right. So if you pause the video and you want to check your work, I'm still going to do the work. There's a lot of zeros up here. The answer is not 575. That's not the answer, okay? Because if you did that, you were lazy. You did not borrow. Come on, friends. We're in third grade. We can borrow. So 0 take away 5, I cannot do. I go next door to my twin brother, and he's like, we're twins, buddy. I have no money. You have no money. Let's go to our other brother. And then the other brother, who's also a 0, says, we're triplets, buddy. If you have no money, I have no money. But let's go ask Grandpa. Grandpa, can we borrow 10? Well, the grandpa says, sure, because I love you guys and I want to spoil you. So the 1 becomes a 0. And this 0 here becomes a 10. But remember, he was supposed to owe his brother. And he tried to spend that 10. But his brother caught him at Target and said, hey, you owe me. So he becomes a 9. So this here becomes a 10, but he remembers he owes his brother and he tried to run away from him, but he could not escape. So he becomes a 9 and this becomes a true 10. I'm going to use a different color, something more bright. So now I can subtract. 10 take away 5. Oh, that wasn't as bright as I thought. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 7 is 2. 9 take away 5 is 4. So Megan's family has 425 more miles to travel. All right, your seat work is number 5 and number 6. Let's look at number 7. Number 6 is pretty simple. Let me do that just in case. So I'm going to circle the 2 and I have to find the value of it. So this is the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, so 2,000s. If you have any questions about that, let me know at our meeting, okay? Number 7, I'm going to set the time. Right now, it is 10:15. How do I know? Well, I know you can't really tell that well, but this is the hour hand and it's pointing at the 10. The minute hand is going from 5, 10, 15. So it's 10:15. Now I want to count 45 minutes later. So I want to know what time it'll be in 45 minutes. So I'm going to start here at the 15 and I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Huh. Now as it's moving along, this hour hand will move up to this new number. So it's going to be 11 and it stops at the 12. And you can't say 11:12 because that's not what 12 represents. It's going to be 11 o'clock in 45 minutes. B. Right now it says it's 6:30, so that means it's 6:30. But in 20 minutes, 20 minutes earlier. So we have to go backwards because we want to know what happened earlier. So if it's 6:30, I'm going to take my flower and go backwards this way. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, actually, I have to stop at 20 because it's 20 minutes. So let's try that again. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it was 20 minutes earlier. It was 6:10. Do you want to try the brain booster on your own? We can go over it at our meeting. All right. So before I tell you what to do for seat work, let's do the 7 multiplication table, which I know I went over last week, but that's okay if we do it again. Okay, I'm trying to pick the right color. Okay, hopefully that's not too thick. Oh, I know what I have to do. Hold on, let me do that again.
Okay, hopefully this makes sense. I'm also going to write the ands. Okay, so then I'm going to do this part. 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, 7 times 4, just so you know what these numbers represent. Okay, so it goes like this. 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35, 42, and 49, 56, and 63, and 70, and 77, and 84. Now, this part of the song doesn't really exist. I'm just adding it along, but I hope you remember them despite not being the song. So let's try that again. We're going to sing this at our meeting, okay? So 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35, 42, and 49, 56, and 63, and 70, and 77, and 88. All right, ready for seat work? Seat work time. Cool. All right, seat work time. Seat work. So here's what you have to finish for today. Thank you for watching the video, by the way. I hope it helped. And if it confused you in some parts, please let me know. I really want you to make sure you get this all right, especially since we won't be able to meet in person for a while. And I really want to make sure that you know what you're doing and what you're working on. So on page 147, do number 3, and then on page 148, do number 5 and 6. And if you want the brain booster. All right, fourthies. I almost called you fourthies. Third graders, I will see you at our meeting. Be sure to watch the language video if you haven't yet. Thank you.